This is a spiritual conversation between Makkhali Gosala and a seeker. In the 6th century BCE, when the land of Magad was a hub of spiritual seekers, philosophers, and ascetics, a distinct group of renunciates known as the Ajivikas wandered across the forests and villages of India. Among them was their foremost teacher, Makkhali Gosala, a contemporary of Mahavira and Gautam Buddha. Gosala's teachings were unique. He rejected the doctrine of karma and taught that everything in life was preordained, human effort was meaningless, and destiny alone ruled existence. His followers believed in fate, which dictated all actions, suffering, and liberation. One evening, as Gosala sat beneath a Bodhi tree in the city of Rajgriha, a young seeker named Shandilya approached him with a troubled mind. Shandilya bowed before Makkhali Gosala and said, "O wise one, I have wandered from place to place, seeking truth. Some teachers say our actions shape our destiny, while others claim that life is controlled by fate. What is the truth? Are we free to choose our path, or is everything already written? Is everything predestined? Do we have no free will?" Gosala smiled, his eyes reflecting the fire of deep contemplation. "Come, my child. Before answering your question, let us take a walk." He led Shandilya toward a field where a farmer was plowing the land. They watched as the farmer planted seeds in neat rows. Gosala turned to Shandilya and asked, "Tell me, when this farmer sows his seeds, does he have control over how they will grow?" Shandilya thought for a moment. He can plant the seeds, but he cannot control the rain, the wind, or whether the seeds will sprout. Gosala nodded. "Exactly. Just as the farmer cannot control the rain or the sun, you cannot control the circumstances of your life. You are like the seed, you can be placed in different soils, but whether you grow or wither is already determined." Shandilya frowned, "But Guruji, does that mean effort is useless? Should the farmer not even try?" Gosala chuckled. "The farmer may think he is acting by his own free will, but in truth, he was fated to plant those seeds. Even your question, my child, was fated to be asked." Shandilya's mind struggled with this thought. Gosala then led Shandilya to a river, its waters rushing toward the distant ocean. "Look at this river, my child. Can it choose its path?" Shandilya observed the flowing current and replied, "No, Guruji, it follows the course laid for it by the land." Gosala smiled. "Yes. Just as the river cannot turn back or stop flowing, our lives follow a predetermined course. The mountains do not decide to rise, the seasons do not decide to change, everything moves according to the force of fate." Shandilya's voice trembled. "Then are we mere puppets, Guruji? If we cannot change our path, what is the purpose of life?" Gosala picked up a handful of sand and let it slip through his fingers. "Tell me, my child, can you hold on to time? Can you grasp the past or the future in your hands?" Shandilya shook his head. "No, Guruji. Time moves beyond our reach." Gosala's voice deepened. "And yet, you think you control your fate. Just as this sand slips away, so too does the illusion of free will. What is meant to happen will happen, whether you resist it or not." Shandilya lowered his gaze, feeling both awed and unsettled. "But Guruji, if fate decides everything, why do people teach about karma? Why do they say good deeds bring good results and bad deeds bring suffering?" Gosala pointed to a bird in a small bamboo cage hanging from a tree. "Look at that bird. It flaps its wings, believing it is free, but it remains within the cage." He then pointed to another bird soaring in the sky. And now look at this one. It flies where the wind takes it. It is not bound by illusion. Turning to Shandilya, Gosala spoke his final words. People believe in karma and effort because they are like the caged bird. They think they can change their destiny. But the wise one is like the bird in the sky. He surrenders to the wind of fate, free from the illusion of choice. Shandilya stood silent, absorbing his guru's words. For the first time, he saw life not as a struggle to control, but as a river to be flowed with. He bowed deeply and said, Guruji, I now understand. Everything is as it is meant to be. The wise one does not resist fate, but accepts it with peace. Makkhali Gosala smiled and placed his hand on Shandilya's head. Yes, my child. True freedom is not in trying to change what is unchangeable, but in accepting what already is. That night, as Shandilya gazed at the stars that had shone for eternity, he felt lighter, as if the burden of striving had lifted from his soul. He had found peace in surrendering to fate. Moral of the story: life is like a river, it follows a path already carved, regardless of our efforts. The idea of free will is an illusion. What is meant to happen will happen. Like a seed, we are placed in certain circumstances beyond our control. True wisdom is not in resisting fate, but in surrendering to it. The one who accepts life's flow without attachment is truly free. The river does not resist its course. The wise one does not resist fate. Thank you.